Can y'all hear me okay? All right, thank you so much. Welcome aboard. We can start the tour right here if you like. On the left side of the boat, this is La Mansion Omni, constructed in 1852. In 1853, it was known as St. Mary's Institute. Our school started by 4 brothers of the Society of Mary. In 1927, it was known as the San Antonio Law School. In 1966, the law school was relocated to a newly completed complex upon the present-day site of St. Mary's University campus today, plus rented instructional lab vacant. A graduate of St. Mary's returned to the area. He purchased the building. He adds a 6-story addition overlooking the river where we are now, and internally the building does incorporate graceful Spanish arches and columns, cloistered courtyards, plus the romantic interiors are accented with the antiques of colonial Mexico and Spain. La Mansion Omni, 1968 today. Welcome aboard, everyone. This is a natural waterway that we're on right now, known as the San Antonio River. We're going with the flow river depths anywhere from 3 to 10 foot deep. Safety guidelines: please no tobacco products, please no vaping. Time to remain seated during the course of the tour. Be mindful of your hands and arms and elbows along the way. Do feel encouraged, please, with questions and answers. Are y'all enjoying yourselves in the city? All right. How about the rest of you? All right. Friends, coming up with the bridge right here, look skyward to the left, skyward to the left. This road is considered to be one of the finest colorful terracotta rare society of the Southwest. That is the Knicks Hospital building up there, constructed in 1930. It was home to the Knicks Hospital until 2019, November 1, since 1930. It's going to become a mixed-use hotel space now. Ever might like to charter a Go Rio cruiser for your private event? We can be contacted at GoRioCruises.com. GoRioCruises.com. We are at your service. Looking to the very forefront of the boat before us is a Hyatt Regency Hotel. Notice the fact that that building there before us is not very high. You know why? Because located on the other side of that structure up there is Texas's Shrine to Liberty, the Alamo. If that building, friends, before us is any higher than it does appear, it would cast a shadow upon Texas's Shrine to Liberty at dusk. Did you know that to this very day, there are no independently located structures out here in the downtown San Antonio, Texas area? Mr. Hugman did design a master plan for the river. It included buildings and bridges, rocks, benches, lights, and waterway features that combined old world charm with the natural beauty of the area itself. He personally designed every single detail of the plans, from the powder in the sidewalk to a gadget that changed the light bulbs and the light fixtures. Mr. Hugman did a vision development that does include everything we see here is fine Texan American San Antonio Day. On the right side of the boat, friends, upon the 50th building, is the historic downtown riverfront office of Robert H.H. Hugman, architect. This whole entire area may never ever have existed as it does appear, had it been for the return of the native San Antonian to San Antonio in 1928. Robert Harold Harvey Hugman, often referred to as the father of the Red Walk because he often fondly referred to it as his baby, hence the nickname Father of the Red Walk. The guy who owns this place on the right side, he owns street level and he owns river level. Years ago, street level was a hardware store. At river level, he had something going on, but it wasn't going over. He opened up something else, it still wasn't going anywhere. He determined, I'm going to open a third place down here. If it does not get off of the ground, I'm going to sell off the river level property. How about the rest, y'all? Get off my boat now. I can't believe it's in the script, right? I'm just doing my job, lady. I'm just doing my job. How about those Houston Texans? How about those Texan Rangers? Texas Rangers? How about Houston Astros? The request lines are now closed. Looking to the right side of the boat, friends, you got giant spars heading up into the sky. There it is. That's the Tower of the Americas up there. That's more than 600 feet up into the air. Constructed in 1968. The bottom level is a rotating restaurant that does do a 360 in an hour's time. The top level is a non-rotating outdoor observation deck, offering views up to 16 miles round as the restaurant does rotate. Truly a fantastic way to see the 7th largest city in the United States, 2nd largest city in the state of Texas. This is all land-wise. San Antonio does span a range of 424 square miles in south central Texas, rounding up to the edge of the Texas Hill Country, and rounding down to the Gulf Central Plains. Our population is 1.5 million people. As far as the largest cities in the state of Texas are concerned as land-wise, it's Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas in that order, with Houston leading the way. We surpassed Dallas about 10 years ago or so, land-wise we did. Now we're taking this left turn into the River Center extension, excavated from street level back in 85, 88, for the construction and the placement of the shops at River Center, which you're about to see on that second footbridge out there, right down this First Street Bridge. And it's still 3 foot deep here, it's still 3 foot deep. Some people do believe San Antonio is the oldest continuously active municipality in the United States, even older than St. Augustine, Florida. Let me tell you why we can feel this way. Back in those days to the north was Apache and Comanche territory. Then Apaches and the Comanches, they come into San Antonio, Texas, steal, pillage, and burn. After a while, from here to Laredo, going south in between was classic badlands. Every type of outlaw, renegade, and bandito that you would hope not to encounter was located over there. They too would come into San Antonio, Texas, kill, pillage, and burn. Friends, the city out here is always united and stood up as one, defending the city, fighting back, driving out interlopers, regardless of who was inhabiting the town at the time. Had it been Spaniards, Mexicanos, Tejanos, Texians, and Texans, or all of the above, they would unite for the common good, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, all associated with a sense of common dignity. Common good, common dignity. They live for Texas, and Texas lives for them. Hence the claim, the oldest continuously active municipality in the United States since inception to this very day. Yours truly, San Antonio, Texas, 1718. Friends, did you know that in the United States it's against the law to fly your state colors independently of national colors at the top of the state capitol building nonetheless? Anytime that you want, and as much as you want, like we do in Austin, that is against the law, and something that you will see distinctly throughout the state of Texas. The reason why these occurrences occur this way, and Texas out here was a nation unto itself for 10 years, having won independence from Mexico all by our lonesome. Prior to joining the United States in 1846, one of the stipulations was, Texas must be allowed to fly state colors, independent national colors, at any time when we so do desire. So we do. Hence the saying goes, I leave Texas, the Lone Star State. This is true. I'm not coming on too strong, am I? I don't want to keep up your holiday. What? Yeah, it's like that. Just drink plenty of water. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. That'll get you through. Friends, coming up at the bridge. There's a footbridge there before us. Coming up at this footbridge, looking to the right side, friends, and you will see a tall statue in place over there on the right side. Now, on the right side past this footbridge, this tall statue, this is the likeness of St. Anthony de Padua. In 1691, Spanish explorer did stop in the area long enough to celebrate a Mass. The chief celebrant of the Mass was a Father Mass, and that happened to be the feast day of St. Anthony de Padua that particular day. So Father Massenet dug the waterway in Rio San Antonio. That's how the river got its name in 1691.